What is the look of? It got something to do with being the man and handling your biz. What love got to do with it? Assets, feet, it's all bullshit.
Well, I think in honor of this July 4th weekend.
Oh no.
Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey
No.
y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all.
I knew that shit was coming, bro. Yo, holla. I can't stand this, man.
Yeah, man.
Yo, I had a feeling.
I
knew it. I knew he was going to do it.
I know y'all was banging your head to that.
Yeah, man.
It's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, man. That's why people is Indians out here, because of that song.
Dude was flowing, man.
The question is, which groups are more likely to support black nationalism or black separatism? Well, that's one of them.
Which groups? Like, what do you mean, which groups? Just in general?
When I mean by groups, I'm talking about demographics. So, for example, do you think working class black people be more likely to support it? Do you think black people who are middle class, black people who are upper class, college educated, non-college educated, you know, which one? Which group?
I don't think. I think we're gonna
be more likely to support it.
I don't think that we could generalize that. To be honest with you, we need to be fishing. We need to be fishing to all of those groups, because all of those groups have different experiences. All of those groups think differently. And you have a lot of educated people that are not going to be on board because they have been basically brought up in a society where they're told that that's wrong to try to separate from, you know, the Americas, or what's the norm, depending on how deep into their education they might be or where they went to school changes how they're going to think about that. So that's not I don't think we could generalize that. It's the individual. So we're going to have to fish out to all of those people. Every single demographic we need to be in contact with. And some of them are going to be receptive to it, and some of them are not. So I don't think that we need to be limiting ourselves to just a one or two or three demographics, when you're not going to get. There might be somebody in a demographic that we're not even paying attention to that is going to click for them. So I don't think that we should just be saying this demographic or that demographic or this person because they have that. I mean, no, I don't think that we should do that at all.
So I had to step away for a moment. What are we talking about now?
The question was, which group of people should we be focusing on, and who would be receptive to land infrastructure and nationhood?
What does that mean? What group of people? What do you
mean? Meaning like educated people.
So okay, everybody. Example would be like
everybody.
Yeah, an example. I understand everybody, but when I mean by specifically demographic, like for example, right, when you are running on a platform, right, you might get like 70% of this demographic, 70% of, like, let's say, non-college educated people supported our ideology, but only 20% of college educated people supported our ideas. So do you target more of the 70% that support you, or do you try harder to get that 20% increase in the college educated field, even though the majority of majority of the college people aren't firmly opposed, just hypothetically. They're just
Oh,
They don't support
okay.
it, they're strongly against it, but it's only 20%. We can't. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, if you're talking about
Yeah,
that, then
not so
yeah,
you
of
don't
course
appeal
you.
to everybody, but like your base.
Yeah, of course you're trying to get like if you're not getting the amount of success in one ratio or demographic, then you have to concentrate more on that because you already got 70%, which is pretty good.
This is the thing. Let's take a poll right here, right now. How many people are college educated?
I am.
Yeah.
Jabari?
I am.
Okay, so that's basically the majority of the call that's college educated. Because I know Zaida is. She has, I think, multiple degrees. I don't have any degrees. Not a one.
Mm-hmm.
So to say we're not gonna focus. We need to focus on everybody. It's called
No,
fishing.
but I don't think that's what he's saying though.
What is he
Like
saying?
I don't like he's saying that, and I sort of understand it from a. I understand it from the, like if you have 70% of a certain demographic firmly in your camp, he's not saying that you don't keep appealing to that camp. What he's saying is if you have another camp where you only have like let's say 20%, then you have to increase that number. So you got to put some focus on that demographic where you're not getting as much success as you are on your other demographic. But you don't abandon any of it.
Right, that's what I'm
saying. You know what I'm saying?
That's
not what he's. Yeah, he's not saying abandon it.
We shouldn't abandon anybody. The information in our platform should be available, and we should be able to appeal to everybody.
Right.
So I don't. That's why I'm saying the question to me is really moot. Yeah, I mean,
no, the reason why I say that right is because. Yeah, let me sort of explain or let me sort of clarify things so that people don't understand. So people can understand where I'm getting at. So an example, I'll give two examples. So an example would be like what we see in America. Let's say in American politics, right? You do the Black Lives Matter movement. Let's say that, or an election like Democrats, right? Let's say the Democrats get black voters, right? And then Republicans almost get solidly white voters. Let's say that for example, right? Don't we keep saying that Democrats should stop focusing on white voters because they're never going to get them, and instead focus, not saying you don't focus on white voters, but you try more to energize and get your base out, since you know that's the group that's most likely to support you.
Right.
Another example would be like the Garvey movement, where you did have college-educated people, but the majority of them were non-college educated, working class people. Do you focus more on trying to energize them so that they make moves, or do you try to spend a lot more energy on effort on trying to see if you can convince that other 20% of that particular demographic?
Oh, okay, I get it now.
The majority of them are firmly
opposed. That sounds. I'm happy that you explained it. This is how I feel about it, especially in where we are today. If I sit down and I have a conversation with you and I'm explaining to you what we are about and what we want, and it's not for you, it's just not for you. There's no more push at this point. I'm not begging anybody to agree with me or feel the way I feel about what needs to move forward for Black people. Because if you're content in where you are and you're happy with it, then by all means go be happy and content with where you are and what you're doing. That's why I said we got to fish out to everybody, push it to everybody, and whoever is in agreement will be in agreement. This is not something that you need to have. You have to push somebody to agree with. It's either they are not.
The way that he framed it is that way that you just framed it. Then my answer is different because from the way that you framed it, yeah, you concentrate on your base because those are the ones who's going to come out and vote for you. So the most of your concentration should be on your base. Mm-hmm. But at the same token, you should always try to expand your base. So, which gets back to what you're saying, Salima. You speak to everybody, and whoever will accept the message, you deal with them. Whoever doesn't, whatever.
Right.
So I think you're both saying the same thing. It's just a question of
We
what
are.
you concentrate on.
I ain't saying there's something wrong with that. It's all good. Yeah, give me some dap. I'm